Introducing the Last of Us tabletop miniatures game. Sort of. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blastercaded Painting. So, on stream a month ago, one of my subscribers asked if I'd played County Road Z, and I said no, but I have the book. Now, there is a newer version of this book that's done by Modifius. This is the original printed one. I got this from War Games Vault and had it sent to me. My subscriber, Troy, this video started out of him asking, could I play this? And I said, I don't really have any terrain for it, and I don't have a lot of zombie miniatures. I could get zombie miniatures. And then I thought, well, I do have terrain for it because I have MCP terrain, which is all modern day stuff. And then I would have to get a lot of zombie miniatures, and then I remembered it would be really cool if you used Last of Us miniatures that were sculpted by Skullforge Studios. And last year, I was part of their Patreon, and they released a ton of Last of Us miniatures. So, as the kids say, 3D printer go burr, and I started printing out a ton of zombies and survivors for County Road Z that we're turning into The Last of Us. It's a long way of saying I'm making it up and using this book as rules. Now, I did message Skullforge Studios and tell him ahead of time I was doing this, and he said, expletive yeah? Exclamation. Also, Skullforge Studios, how do I convince you to sculpt the survivors from the first Left 4 Dead game? And also the monsters from the Left 4 Dead games. Can I convince you to do that? Did you do commissions? If you don't know what County Road Z is, you guys should check it out. It is pretty awesome. Not only is it played on the tabletop with your characters and zombies moving around, it has rules for different apocalypses, different types of zombies, and then it also has an entire layer dedicated to the campaign, which you would then do sort of just in like pen and paper, like building your base, upgrading your base, keeping your characters fed, and all that. So there's really two games in one here. And I didn't want to do just a regular zombie apocalypse, and The Last of Us is super cool, so let's paint up some of the miniatures, and yeah, The Last of Us. So here are all the miniatures here. These are survivors, there's zombie creatures in the back, and clickers, and the big bloating guys, and then I just gave them all a gray primer. I kind of want these guys to be a little bright because I'm going to darken them down. And then I gave them a dry brush of white all over. So it's sort of a mid-gray, and then we're just putting on some of that white dry brush just to help with how we're going to paint these up quick, because I really just want to play it. And yeah, here's some of the clickers here. These sculpts are amazing. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some fairy skin, purple swarm, and some speed paint medium. And we're going to put the fairy skin all over the skin of these zombies, and then we're going to wet blend in some of the purple. This is going to be our undertone basically for our zombie clicker cordyceps creatures. And also these, I grabbed some of these because they're just super cool. They are not part of The Last of Us, but they looked awesome, so thanks Skullforge, they're amazing. And I'm going to take some matte white, and then guess what, I'm going to dry brush the skin. So we've got all our colors on. Now we're just going to dry brush up mostly the raised areas of the skin. And, yeah. Then I'm taking some speed paint medium and some zombie flesh, thinning it down, and then this is going to go over all the skin. So we've got our zombie flesh. This is like the final color that goes over top. We've got some purples and some skin colors underneath. So we got undertones, and yeah, this ends up looking really good. Then we're taking some tan skin and some desolate brown. I'm taking the big guys here. I'm putting the desolate brown on first, and then wet blending in some tanned skin. I will let that dry, and then guess what? Yep, we're going to dry brush that white as well. So we're just doing a lot of different undertones for our skin, and it's going to look really good in the end. Then I'm going to take that zombie flesh and I'm going to put it all over them. So same thing, just different undertones. Do you guys have a favorite zombie game? Do you guys have a favorite zombie movie? Do you guys have a favorite zombie show? Why don't you let me know in the comments below. Then we're taking some High Lord Blue and some Moonlight Coral. Now this part you can use any colors you want. We're going to go through and color in any of their clothing. So you decide. I used a ton of different colors and just went nuts and went through and colored any of their clothing, whatever I thought would look cool, different combinations. Taking some Zealot Yellow. This is why we left the mushrooms on the head till last. This is going all over those, head mushrooms, I guess they are. Little mushroom headies. Yep, it's going all over there. This is going to give us our base for what we want in the end. Then we're grabbing some rotten flesh and some rigor mortis, and on these big guys, they got like these polypy areas, so I'm going to put on some of the rotten flesh first. Just kind of spread it around on there, and then I'm going to wet blend in a little bit of the rigor mortis. It looks nice. Then we're taking some howling sand and some speed paint medium. This is just going to go into the recesses of the mushrooms that we did on the head. Next, we're taking some Riser Rust. I don't know what it's called. It does not matter. Just get it on the edges of all those delicious mushrooms. A lot of people don't like mushrooms, and in this situation they're bad, but I love them on pizza. I love them. I just love mushrooms. Get it on there. Okay, so we'll take a quick break from the zombies and move on to the survivors. The survivors are easier and harder to paint at the same time because they're different. They're not as uniform as the zombies because you're painting a ton of zombies. You can kind of be like, okay, skin, clothes. The survivors are different. So we're going to use the same idea where we take one color and then just take our survivors, and I'll be like, this guy's jacket's this color, and I'll make this guy's pants the same color as that guy's jacket over here. So we'll just pick a color and go through some miniatures and put them on, and we'll keep going through that way. So we're going to grab some Gunner Camo here. I'm going to show you one guy. This is going on his coat, and when I have it out, I'll go do somebody else's pants. Then I'll take some Tyriot Navy here, and this will go on his pants, and while I have it out, I'll go put this on a different Survivor Miniatures coat. So we're army painting, Gonna take some snakebite leather, and it's gonna go in his backpack. Maybe it'll go on one of the other survivors' boots or on his coat. Doesn't matter, we're just army painting. Burnished red here, it's gonna go on his hat. He is very hobo with a shotgun. I love this sculpt. He's got a pipe that he's just hanging out with. Love that pipe. Then I'm gonna take some tan skin, speed paint medium, and you use whatever skin tones you want. I switched it up all around, so yeah, just throw it on there. Then you can see here, just grab another survivor, put different colors on. This one here, just go through and get them all colored up. And because we used a gray prime, they're fairly bright, and a gray prime with a white slap chop over top, they do have some splotchiness some places, which is fine. They do have some texture from the dry brushing, which is fine. Because it's the zombie apocalypse, your clothes are not doing very well. Nothing is doing very well except the zombies. So if you want to go and paint these up to your highest standard, highest ability, you are welcome to do that. This is not that game for me. This is a gritty, dirty game. And also for the survivors, as were the zombies, I picked kind of whatever colors I wanted because they'd be just wearing whatever when the zombie apocalypse hit, so I'm kind of placing this game in like the right after it happened sort of camp, so they could be in bright colors because that's what happened. They didn't get time to change. The survivors have been around a while, so they're not putting on bright colors because they have to worry about scavengers and being spotted, so they're putting on greens, browns, tans, camouflage, light colors, darker colors, dark blues. They're hiding. Zombies didn't have a chance to hide, so they're wearing whatever they got from Forever 21. So we got everybody painted here, and now we're going to use what I like to call contrast shader. So this is contrast shader. It's matte, medium, it's ink, and it's water, and it's flow improver. So it's black ink, brown ink, sepia ink, matte, medium, water, flow improver. I make it myself. And I'm going to put this over top of all of the miniatures we just did. I am going to put it on, slap it on, and then I'm going to use my brush to soak some of it off and move it around so it doesn't pool too much. And this is going to shade everything down. It's going to darken our miniatures down. And if you felt like going through after and adding in highlights, you could do that, but we're just leaving them like this. Here is the miniatures. Now I've given them a matte spray on there because now I'm going to take my zombies, I'm going to take some True Blood and some Grim Black. I've got some True Blood here, and then I'm going to take some Grim Black and add it to this True Blood here, so it's a darker sort of True Blood, more of a coagulated, clotted sort of True Blood color. And then I'm going to take my zombies, and not all of them, but you can go heavy, you can go light, put it on their hands, around their mouths, dripping down their fronts because they're not wearing zombie bibs. And I'm just going to put this blood all over the place. Do the matte spray first so we can keep the blood kind of shiny. And yeah, and oh yeah, I did the Rat King too. By the way, I'm going to take some oozing vomit here, and on the bigger guys I'm going to add a little bit of that just to gross them up and do the bases. These guys are done. So what do you guys think? This video isn't excessively long, but the project took a month. It took a while. Printing, removing supports, curing, priming, painting. It took me a bit. I did a bunch of the survivors on stream a couple weeks ago. If you guys want to check out streams, we do those on Friday nights. But I had a ton of fun doing it. I printed out a bunch of different terrain and painted that in between too, so I could do some shots and play some games. It is a super fun game. The rule set is great. The campaign is awesome. Like, it's really a fun game. It is solo and co-op. It is not a head-to-head game, which is really nice. I really like that aspect, that I get to go out and do missions and then go back and build my base. It's the nerdiest stuff ever. And Skullforge Studios, who really do some of the best sculpts out there. These are awesome. They're great sculpts. I didn't have any failures at all. The supports peel off like he's a professional on the highest level. There are some companies out there that, like, you get their stuff and those supports do not peel off. You've got to cut stuff, and stuff breaks, and then you got to glue it. I have never had a problem with his stuff. He is of the highest order out there. As always, we want to thank our Patreon supporters, Charming Grenade, Richie Fender, and LK. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and you guys have a great day.